There are these moments in life where you remember exactly where you were, and you had this juxtaposition between when you found out that she was being sent to a penal colony and today. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the W was not whole without BG in it for a whole summer. It was palpable, the heaviness on the players, especially her Phoenix teammates. I thought just the impact of missing your sister. It is a family. And, you know, you have to stick up and speak up when a family member is, you know, being hurt in some kind of way. And I think not only the W, but the NBA and just all the people stepping up, sports, athletes, civilians, everybody just stepping up and seeing how wrong this was. But going back to your question, there was a couple, like, gut punches. And I remember the 9-year sentence when it came down. We were walking into, I believe, Dallas, for a shoot around, and I could feel it was just when that 9-year sentencing came down, because I think at that point, I know I did a video trying to say, let's have mercy, have some grace, like she's paid her dues, like let her come home. That didn't happen because Putin doesn't have a gracious bone in his body. And so when that sentencing was handed down, I just remember a palpable feeling amongst my players, a heaviness, and like I said, it was kind of a gut punch, and you know exactly where you were and what you were doing when that news broke.
And in the league, in the W, I was playing, you were coaching. I believe the Phoenix Mercury were on the road in Connecticut about to play that game, and I remember in our group chat as the executive committee and also the Players Association, everyone's like, how are we going to play? Like, yeah. and it was just another testament of the strength of women that the game went on and the season kept going and the advocacy maintained. And finally, we're at the result where we are today. And sometimes I think this is also a message that, like, just because things aren't being magnified, if you do that work, however big or small, good things will come. And I know that it was a very, as you mentioned, long summer for us because we missed her at every corner. I'm just grateful we got to this result.
For sure, and I think the other thing is what happens, I feel like a lot of times, is it's a story today and then forgotten about tomorrow. Yeah. And what the W did and the NBA and everybody that came alongside BG was they didn't let her name get out of the news. They kept it to the forefront, and I think that happens so much. You know, let's make sure we keep Paul Whelan's name in the news and keep fighting for these people because they're somebody's daughter, brother, father. There's so many different hats that these people wear. This is a humanitarian issue, and as far as I'm concerned, I thought she was a political pawn. I mean, they just kind of threw some spaghetti against the wall. Oh yeah, she had this, so we're going to take her. In the scheme of things, what's going down in Russia? Come on.
We're going to hear from Brianna Turner, BG's teammate, a little bit later in the show, but I'm sure you've been hearing from folks, both of you, around the WNBA all day long. What is the larger collective feeling today, Janae?
I think that the collective feeling is that once again you're seeing that the good work that the W does, our advocacy matters, even when society constantly tells you that it doesn't. Because I always say that the WNBA, being a league that is predominantly 80% black women, our existence is inherently the resistance. What we represent can sometimes be construed as political just because of the color of our skin or what we choose to advocate for. And so I think that constant grind that we have to not only deliver at the highest level, which, by the way, we have the results of,
yes,
the reigning champs in the building, but also to use our platforms for positive power and change, knowing that our representation, we know what's at stake for those. And I think that, you know, the result that we got to today was the administration saying that you matter in a way that society sometimes is late to understand. And that, to me, is the coolest part. Like, finally, there's a small validation for the work that has been done, and also understanding that, like, at the end of the day, we get our sister back, we get our teammate back. Like, it just is, there's so many different moments and points that we look to in sports, and I think the W is a true testament of, I've said it like a million times on this network, we're not new to this, but we are consistently true to everything.
And I think, too, her wife, Sherelle, said it most beautifully when you talk about the collective feeling, just like that gut punch we got with the sentencing. I think it was a collective sigh of relief, and just like Sherelle said, I'm just going to smile. I'm just going to smile right now. And that's the feeling that you get is just,
Yeah,
Really?
and it's funny because like
Bring her home.
we're some tough ladies over here. Okay, we don't
I
get
know.
emotional easy.
Yeah, no.
But today I started feeling it. Did you?
Yeah.
Like you? I'm sure you started feeling it. Everyone is feeling it, and we're just grateful for it. And we understand that we still have, the ability to advocate for, as you mentioned, Paul Whelan and others. The W is great at championing causes, and this is just another one that you will see continue.
I think, talking to my team over the course of the summer, it's like, you can get so caught up, right, in our jobs, and we're crazy about our jobs.
Right.
We love what we do. I'm a maniac. But,
In the best way.
but you're going through film, and I can remember just saying that to my team, like, BG was in jail this morning, and then last night, and the night before that, and the night before that. And it just kept going and going as the days came along, and it's like, and we think we have problems trying to solve, pick and roll defense. Like, this is real problems, this is real life, and that's why I say it's a humanitarian issue. And one thing that the reporter TJ Quinn touched on earlier was he talked about how if you heard something from the Russian media, it came from the government, and I think that's something that we really need to acknowledge. Is we do have the freedom to speak up and speak our minds and unite behind a great cause as bringing our sister back home. But they don't have that in other countries. It's state-run media, and a lot of times, just like as in at home, like a lot of people are victims of their own government, and I saw that a lot in Russia, where it was like, man, the no ability to like move up brings such a sense of hopelessness, and I think what we represent is hope to a lot of people, and that things can get better.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.